use these things. It's been so long since it's been sunny in this flipping country. I don't even know how to use a hammock anymore. So yes, we're outside. It's sunny, so I'm outside because we're not normally outside because it's never normally sunny. So anyway, today we are doing a review of Dehancer. Dehancer reached out and asked me to review their product, which is called Dehancer. I don't use plugins, I don't use LUTs normally, or I try not to as much as possible. So I have bought and I have got Film Convert. I used it for about 5 days and I haven't used it since about 8 months. It's just sat in my DaVinci area, taking up space. He's doing work next door. I don't know if you can hear that. It might be annoying. We might end up going inside, which will be more annoying. Anyway, I'm not going to take up time moaning. So they asked me to do this product review of Dehancer, and I must say, and this is a part of the disclaimer which I do not need to say, that there is absolutely incredible, but it is absolutely incredible plugin. It's definitely something that I'll be using a great deal. Even if they hadn't reached out and I had that product, I would still be doing a video on this because I feel it's valuable. It's been valuable for me. Film Convert I haven't done a video on because it hasn't been valuable for me and I haven't really found any use for it as such as yet. But this one, quite frankly, means I'm not going to have to worry about that one anymore. So yeah, they were basically cool enough to reach out to me to give me the opportunity to do this review. So I thought I'd do something a little bit extra special for them, or go a little bit further to make it something worth your while as well. And so I put together a little shoot with 2 models. We've got 4 scenes. We only had an hour to shoot this, so it was tricky, but it was a lot of fun. And basically, just so you know, every image in this little video shoot that I did, it hasn't been color graded. It's been corrected slightly for the contrast, but not a lot. White balance, obviously, kind of rectified that as much as possible. But I basically wanted the Dehancer to kind of show itself off, to give you the biggest, clearest idea of what this program can do. Because even out of the box, not that there is a box because it doesn't come in a box, even from the download, it is just easy and just so user friendly. Once you really have time to start getting into all the nitty gritty, I don't know if you have that word in other parts of the world, nitty gritty is like getting into it, really spending time with it, then I think you'll find it's going to be just a game changer. I didn't have a lot of time to really get into it, which kind of helped with how I was kind of approaching it, was just to float out there on the images and let it do its own thing. I didn't tweak it too much. What you're seeing on these images in this next little video is pretty much what you'll see if you just chucked it on any kind of somewhat nicely balanced shot. Check out the bottom right corner of these images, you'll see it change. That's going to be the different film stock profiles that are changing. There's a black and white one in there, and yeah, just enjoy the video. Remember, it's just there to kind of get you an idea of what you can get from it straight out of the box. Obviously, if you start tweaking, you're going to take it to another level. And after the video, we will get into obviously some details about the different parameters within the plugin. All right, so let's roll this film and enjoy. So yeah, that was just to give you an idea. We're now going to jump into something a bit more in depth. So I'm going to show you a few images that I've been making over the last few weeks with my father, who used to be a biker, and he's not going to give up as a biker, but he's given up his big touring bikes, so it's kind of the end of an era. So we're doing a little documentary on that. So there's a few pictures from that. Images. I just want to show you some of the main key features, like halation, which is like one of the reasons I was really into this program. Bloom. Chili. Chili. Come here. Chili. Shut up. Come here. Flipping cat. Chili. 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 You're either a cat person or a dog person. Anyway. Anyway. Chili. 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 Never mind. Anyway. I have no idea what I was saying. So yeah, we're going to get into a few images now of a little documentary I'm doing for my old man. And I'm going to tweak things a little bit more, just so you can see obviously what everything does slider-wise and the parameters on each kind of plugin setting, right? So let's get into this, guys. Okay, guys, so we are here in DaVinci Resolve. I've got a few images here just to run through some of the parameters within Dehancer. So just a quick one. I'm using the beta version, which they've just told me about just yesterday. So I haven't actually looked at this yet. So I have been told there's a few new things in there. They've kind of sorted out a few things. The halation's better, so on and so forth. But we'll talk about that, or you can talk about that amongst yourselves. Or if you have the time to look into that, you can do. But for meantime, I'm just going to run through this, give you some of the ideas of the parameters within the actual plugin. So first off, using the BMMCC, shot in RAW DNG 3.1. So I've changed my color size to Gen 4. I don't usually do that, I usually use Gen 1, but I'm using Gen 4 for this because I'm using a Rec 709 conversion at the start. And pretty much the only one I ever use is the Buttery LUTs. And if you haven't got this, definitely get it. It's definitely well worth having. It's for the 4K and 6K, but I reached out to those guys and they told me it'd be fine for this one and for the original BMPCC as well, so that's cool. So Gen 4, obviously we use Gen 4. I use the neutral contrast 709 LUT. First node, boom, boom, boom. Open effects, we're going to go into here. This could be brand new for me too because I haven't checked it yet. So let's turn this bad boy on. As you can see, it's not looking that nice straight away. Kind of flatten the image and whatever, but we can do stuff with that. That's good. But anyway, just quickly, I'm using, like I said, the 709, so I'm using the 709 as my source. But if you have a different camera, you've got loads to choose from: Canon's, DJI, Fujifilm, Panasonic, Red. There's tons, and obviously when you go into those, you can then choose your actual cameras as well. Not a major selection to play with, but for the meantime, it's all right. And obviously if yours are not there, you can just do as I'm doing, Rec 709. Don't worry about the defringe. Okay, that's where the fun begins. At the moment, we are using the 250D, which is probably not good for this time of day. So D, excuse me, D at the end of film stocks is determining your day. So it's a daytime film stock. T is for nighttime. Canon, let's see what it is. Yeah, okay, not too bad. And then we can push that with the EV slider here. So basically, this push-pull tool, this is your exposure. So you've got normal exposure, center, underexposed, overexposed. But it's not extreme. And that's the one thing you'll find with all these tools, probably apart from the expand, is that it's not major extreme. You've got so much area to play with. This is really nice. I really like the push-pull EV tool. Just gives you darker light images as well, changing the color and contrast just like with real film. So pushing it up, I'll probably put it about there. That will sit well, and that's all good. There we go, boom. Okay, so expand. This kind of image is quite flat at the moment. The beauty of the BMMCC is you can push it as well, but if you just take the black and we just push that down, you see how that's just becoming even more. It just looks so filmic already. That's crazy. It's so nice. You can work with the Lume or the normal film color mode as well. So we take it off. Look at that. As soon as we, boom, it's lovely. straight away. Again, this had no color grading. It's just literally, I've just done exposure or cloudy, and I've just slightly adjusted it over here, just my parade. So yeah, not a lot done. So obviously, if you're going to spend time, it's going to come out really, really nice. So coming down to your print, the print that we're using obviously is the Vision 350D. That's going to be the exposure of the print, tonal contrast. Saturation doesn't need explaining, makes sense. We know what saturation is, black and white, color. I really, really like this as well. The color density. Again, there's so many things in this program which what they've done is incredible. I have noticed already that in the original version there was like an automatic black and white point checker, but now they've just taken that away. So I'm guessing it's for the best. It's for the best. Okay, so color density. Let me just turn this off. Okay, let me bring this down. So if we turn this back on, look at the hands, look at the skin tones. Okay, so it's very light. There's not much going on there. Now, if we bring that in, it's only a slight adjustment, but it just gives a lovely warmth. It's not an orange or reddish tinge. It's just a lovely, lovely warmth. Up, see that? Enabled, enabled. That's only slightly, but it just makes such a difference. Obviously with the skin tones, as we have skin all over our body, if you're not aware, it does wonders. Analog range limiter. So that's basically, a lot of people sometimes, if they're trying to get the analog look, they'll come down here into the curves and they'll just basically cut both ends, top and bottom. Okay. I've used it. I don't mind using it. It's nice, but this is nice as well. It's just basically another way of doing that. You're just limiting it. It's a lot more subtle again. All right. So just see that how it just gently just kind of rolls it off the bottom and the top. Okay, so it's nice. I'm going to keep that off. So next we've got the color head. I didn't get a chance to use this. I think you do need to spend some time understanding it, but it's basically how they used to develop the color in old print film. These massive, big robot machines, and it's about adding light through these different colors to generate the colors in here. Obviously, it's using the opposites. You can gang everything as well to move everything together. I can't really go back into this I haven't been in there yet. I can't go into this right now because I haven't used it, so it'd be unfair for me to do so. But I guess if you're a realist or a purist, you want to just have a headache, then I would highly advise that. Otherwise, just use your wheels in DaVinci. That's what they're there for. Okay. So, one of the best things about this program, without a doubt, and it's worth the money just alone, even if they had this, is the film grain. There's tons of plugins, overlays, all that stuff on the market for grain. If you're using film grain, it's always, it's always usually a real pain to find something. As most of them, like I said, they're just overlays, and they just overlay the image, and they don't actually sit very well. They don't look real. It looks so synthetic. You can still see the image working underneath that. It just doesn't look nice. So the thing about this grain is unbelievable. So whatever algorithm they're using, I did look at it. It says that the algorithm that they use for their grain, it works with the image's color and the brightness. So it's always accurate to whatever image it is. It's actually working with that particular image, the colors, everything. Obviously, like, you know, your chroma, the amount of color within the grain, the size, obviously the amount, that's self-explanatory. I haven't seen this before. This wasn't on the original version, this part here, so I can't tell you about that. But as you can see, we'll turn it on. You can't probably see that very well on YouTube because YouTube sucks, but it really is nice. It really is nice. And what I really like about this parameter here is the film resolution. So the film resolution is basically, because it is affecting your image now, because it's working with your image, your colors, the brightness, everything is working with that particular image, you are going to get softening, or it's going to kind of break the image a bit to a degree. So the film resolution, it goes to your base footage and sharpens it or softens it even more. This is really nice. It really does make a nice difference. Again, I mean, you can see this image here, but we're actually on quarter resolution, and it's still looking nice. But the reason I'm on quarter resolution, and I can't even talk properly, the playback I put onto quarter resolution when I'm using Dehancer. Basically, that is the only downfall that I can really see with this program. Maybe downfall, maybe not, especially with the M1 chip now. it does take a mental amount of processing power to work. And if I don't have that quarter resolution on doing any kind of work, it's just my little turny sign turns up and it just gets long. So I do everything quarter res, and then maybe for final adjustment I'll go in and turn that off, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Again, the film resolution bokeh or soft edges, I guess that's focusing on those areas. Okay, so here we have an image here of my old man on his motorcycle. That's very American of me. Let's put that to nighttime. It's 200T. Okay, nice. That'll do for now. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry too much about color correction because we're gonna go into the halation. Okay, so halation. What is halation? Halation was it was quite a big deal back in the day for filmmakers, for camera makers, whatever you want to call it. It was basically an imperfection. So if you just watch here around the overexposed area, so obviously the light, there's light there, yeah. So if you watch this, if we turn that on, you see a red change. Like if we turn this up, amplify it, really give it some. Okay, so you can see this red ring. If we put mask mode on, you can see what I'm talking about. So here, these red, and even in the sky is a little bit red because it's the overexposed areas and the contrasting area. So basically, you probably didn't even notice that, unless you're looking for this particular emulation. But on old films, 50, 60, 70 films, you would get this ring, this halation around overexposed areas. Okay, so obviously nowadays we don't get that because everything's so perfect, crystal clean. They've managed to get rid of it. But going back with this era now, trying to make it organic, make it real, authentic, and this is just an awesome little tool. Again, wonderful for different scenarios. Really does make a big impact on the image. Even without knowing, it's like so subtle, but it makes such a big difference. So again, obviously all the parameters you can muck around with. It's all self-explanatory, but that right there is just such a lovely tool. I love that. And actually, to be honest with you, with the beta version, this is coming out really nice. The other one wasn't as, even the other one was nice and it wasn't as real. This is really nice. This is really nice. So this is really something good. So again, like Bloom was also an effect, which was, they didn't really want to have, it basically comes from how the lens acts when using any specific film, like a film stock. So it usually stands out around reflective areas, lighter and brighter, lighter and brighter surfaces. It gives that. It does give a warmer, softer feel. So if we turn this on, you may have heard about it, glow or that dreamy look. So we just enable this. Just watch slightly over here. I just saw it change over here where the different contrasts meet and around the subject on the bike. So if we turn it off again, just watch that change around here. There's a softness, like a glow around. So if we put mask mode, okay, so we can see what's going on here. There's the whites all around here, that glow. That's what's happening. That's what's making the difference. So we can obviously turn that up, amplify that just for the purposes of this. But you can see that glow. Off, on, off, on. Just a real like retro look to it. Just gives a bit more of a softness. Definitely has its uses. Vignette, we don't really need to talk about vignette, but let's just go quickly back to this other image here. Let's fit that to the screen. It's one of my favorite parts of that film. I really enjoyed taking this. Look at that, wow. So that's a Rec 709, everything's Rec 709. We're gonna use a Cine. I really like the 50D on this. Oh, it's just so nice. Look at how natural that is. It's beautiful. Again, I would probably use the analog range limiter on this. See how it softens that? Just cuts the low and the top, because that is obviously an intimate, nice little area, little scene. Film grain. We could put some film grain on there. I'd probably take a little bit out of there, make it a little bit less. Play around with that how you wish. Halation, don't worry about it on this. Bloom, definitely. Oh yeah, see how, watch here. Watch how that really softens this kind of joining area between the two of them. If we take that off, watch his beard, all this beard area here, this dark area here, watch how this glows around the glasses. Just softens, it's so nicely, really nice look. Vignette, yeah, like I said, don't need to explain that too much. Film breath and gate weave I didn't get a chance to use, but to give you an understanding, film breath is basically so like modern 35, or what else do we use? 70 mil cameras, films. Sorry, they're pretty clean. Everything's clean. Everything's clean. That's the whole reason for this plugin, because it's not so clean. Everything's clean. This basically brings back some of the imperfections of the film, so it gives that old, even like that old 8mm film breath, the breath of the film. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to look into that, so I can't like take you through it to really get with an understanding. Gate weave again is I wanted to use that on some of the footage that I shot with Super 8mm look through the matte box, but I didn't have time. I didn't have a lot of time to really get into it. But this kind of emulates how the film is working within the mechanics. So sometimes it just goes off center a little bit, it shakes a little bit, and that really just does that, you know, that kind of random look of imperfection again, which is what we're looking for, is that imperfection with the old school style. False color doesn't need explaining. You can see obviously nice gray areas there to work with, but yeah, it's great. All in all, I'm gonna be real, this plugin is incredible. I love this plugin so much. I've, you know, 6 months, a year down the line of playing with this, I'm sure anyone's gonna be able to know exactly where, when, and how to use certain film profiles and so on. And these guys, they seem like, from the contact I've had as a company, they're fantastic. They're amazing. Really on point, really on the game. They're trying to make it better. Yeah, good things to come, I'm sure, with these guys. There you have it. It's as you can see, it's a powerful tool. Only downside is it does take a lot of processing power, but I'm running off a 2015-2016 MacBook Pro, so that could be why. As long as you keep it in quarter resolution, it's fine. Half resolution is fine. But yeah, that's like a payoff for what you're getting in return. But if you've got like an M1 chip, because they have just brought out the beta version for the M1 chip, so that'll be running on that. I'm guessing it's going to be lightning fast, it's going to be fine. There's not really much else I can say. This is a great plugin. I'm looking forward to actually using it on that documentary. I wasn't going to use anything on that really. I was looking at maybe a 238 stock Kodak. A nice little LUT that I did find, like a finishing off LUT. But forget that. I'm going to use this one now, the Dehancer, because it's there's so much more you can do and play with it within it. It's definitely a great tool if you're a filmmaker, documentary, anything, because all these film stocks all have a different kind of feel to them, so you can really use them for whatever specific kind of footage you're working with. But yeah guys, that was it. It wasn't obviously the shortest run through, but I want to make sure that we kind of covered a lot of the bases. So I couldn't fill in some of the holes because I just didn't have time to get into them, but I'm sure you will, and I will definitely say, you know, if you're looking at a plugin that's going to give you that old vintage style, that real organic film look, then this is definitely the one that I know of. Like I said before, you know, I do a lot of these videos, or I'm doing these videos to kind of like, when I find something good, to pass it over. I'm gonna get a kickback from them. It's not going to be a lot, but if you want to buy this product through their website, you can use my promo code, which is down there somewhere, Dehancer Doug. I came up with that. Dehancer Doug. You can just plug that in. Plug it in. It's a plug-in. You can just put that in the code box, and you'll get 10% off. 10% helps, doesn't it? It does help. So yeah, do that. For the meantime, enjoy it. I think you can get a 2-week. I think you can get a 2-week promo or something of that product to try it out, which is really handy as well. But I guarantee once you try it, you're going to be buying it. But yeah, take care guys, be safe, enjoy this beautiful weather if you're in the UK. It's a rarity at the minute. This year's been terrible, but it's nice now. But yeah, for me, from my jardín, mi jardín y mi casa, that's garden in my house. Take care, be safe, enjoy the weather, peace out.